Okay, this part this part is after the main body of the video because well, I was a little nervous, but I left out a very big important part. The film is independently made. We can't forget that. Without even the partnership or even the what is it? The promise of a partnership if it hit a certain mile. All funded by Markiplier, just made by people who believed in his vision and trusted him, and who all did amazing work, all working together to make this a possibility. That I can't believe I forgot to add that, but you know, that's what happens when you don't like write your thoughts down and you just let it come out. And you obviously forget like 75% of the stuff you want to say. Uh, this is a special one. There's a lot. You watch this, there's a lot you can sink your teeth into and be like, yes, this I can work with this. I now like this. This is like the thing I needed to see to make my vision come true. You know, all the hard work, all the props, the the sound, the camera work. This is it opens it like it like it it basically it shows you how do I say this? It's just the problem. I don't know how to say stuff. What you know, I don't know how to get my thoughts into a coherent um sentence. uh when I talk about the whole story and whatnot, because in this I never talk about Markiplier too much. It's hard not to talk about Markiplier and not his acting and the story and the direction. When I talk about the whole movie and what and all the points, we're not gonna talk about the whole movie, but you know, the general movie and how like the parts, what I liked, what things I would do differently. But you know, it's not much I would do differently. It's only some camera angles is basically pretty much what I would change. Yeah. I'm still trying to think about what I'm trying to say. But I'm also trying to get this out in a timely manner. I don't want to spend one entire week trying to do this. Wow, it just started pouring. Yeah, you can't. The mic's not picking it up, but I just picked it up. It kind of threw me off. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say it's a big inspiration, and it's like a it's an example, for lack of a better word, on what not really what to do, it's what you can do, which is basically inspiration, but in a more tangible sense. Like it's like what is it? It's like when you look at a food that you really want to have, there's like nowhere nearby that sells it, so you cook it yourself. That's kind of like that's like the movie. You see it, all the good parts in that movie, and you be like, yes, it. I can see now how to finish the pro. It's basically inspiration, but it's a little bit more tangible. At least the way I would explain it, it's more actionable in a way. You know, because you keep being inspired by anything, but there's very few stuff that you can be like, this is the missing piece I needed to continue on. You know, I will talk more about it after it. Markiplier says, "Oh, it's spoilers free." The movies leave theaters. Then I'll try to go more to detail. I'll script it out. Well, script it out. I make bullet points of what I want to talk about and be more coherent. That's what I will try to do. And I can talk about theming, and I'll try to the symbolism and all that. Though I am not the most adept at it. I can make up stuff for it for sure, but I cannot 100% read the intent of the writer and the director behind every shot. I That is not my specialty. I can only make up somewhat plausible reasons for it based on what I believe and what I would have done. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna start doing after I'm done with this. I'm gonna start typing that away. So if you want to see it, and if I haven't made a complete fool of myself in this one, please check it out. Who knows? We can talk about it in the comments. I don't know. Uh, I'm just so excited. This one, that movie is all giddy. It's a lot of I have a lot of ideas, but damn. All right, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna be going into any spoilers or anything for the movie, but I did see Iron Lung on Saturday, and then I was debating whether or not to even you know vocalize my opinions on it in a video form because I was like, who cares what I gotta say? But I feel like why not? I enjoyed it so much, man. I know where to begin. The sound, the sound designers, the people who made the props, amazing. It just every time Markiplier hit the button could chunk. It was like perfect. The button was a little bit comically big, but I mean it is kind of that big in the game as well. So so it's not inaccurate, Uh, but yeah, the props, the spinning things, all the arrows. I don't know if the numbers going up and down is the props, or is that if that's I don't know if that's like a prop or that's most likely just a screen with display. But I wonder if it is those like retro lights. I doubt it. Like the old digital clocks. I guess it wouldn't be digital. It would be analog clocks. It would be digital, kind of. If it's lights, it's not really digital, but whatever. Um, but yeah, those that really the ship and all that is that was the perfect environment for Markiplier to act, to act it out and actually feel like it's real, tangible. It adds to the realism and it sucks you into the story. That was a good part. Damn it. Okay, we'll continue. There's not really much I can say besides just saying how much everyone did a good job. Markiplier, obviously, he did a good job. His acting has very improved. If you saw The Edge of Sleep, that one you can tell that his acting skills from the first episode to the end. Well, that this is like 2020 now, way before that, and he also released In Space. But yes, this is a big step up from those two previous his last two previous acting um I won't say careers, but his last acting jobs, I guess, would be the correct one. Anyway, it is vastly improved, but it is also not to speak bad, but what is it? He's very good at acting alone. Though I don't know if like okay, obviously he's not like the greatest actor because this is relatively he hasn't been acting for his whole life. He has been on YouTube for a good portion of his life, but acting is a little bit different. Not to degrade him, but just not to you know, put him too high on a pedestal to give too much of a, so you don't over not to hype up, not to hype, but what is it? Not to make sure the expectations are where it should be because if your expectations of the movie, if you're going with the right expectations, it's a perfect movie. If you go into things thinking it's something that it's not, then obviously you're gonna have a hard time and you're gonna not be able to appreciate the good that's in it. So obviously, if you like Markiplier, if you're familiar with his stuff, if you like the game, they're both faithful adaptations to what's faithful to the game, and it's you can tell the Markiplier's soul is in there if you're familiar with his stuff. Oh boy, what else? The movie, the progression, not progression, but the timeline, the the story, in a way is good. Nothing overstays its welcome, and I would say 99.9% of the camera work amazing. There's a few shots I was thinking of maybe they shouldn't have lingered on this one shot for too long or maybe change the camera angle just a little bit, but for the most part it was good, but I won't lie. There's probably some was it themes or I just heard the word like 3 minutes ago. What is it? The not metaphors, but you know what I'm trying to get at. The meaning. Like I will not lie. Most probably a lot of the meaning, a lot of the symbolism probably flew over my head, and someone smarter or more attuned or more adjusted to seeing that type of stuff could be able to point it out better. But I'll give it a shot when the movies have left the theater, and I'll try and do like a deep dive on it, kind of break it down. I don't know what I would show in the background for that one. I don't even know what I'm showing in the background for this one. I think you know what. I might just show the Iron Lung and then maybe the two freaking blurry pictures I took at the beginning of the movie. You barely could even see nothing. Can't even see Markiplier. I should have took a picture of Markiplier's face. But I was like, I don't want to just wait for taking a picture of the movie at the beginning just to see like, oh look, there's a picture of me. It's like that's like, I'd rather just enjoy the movie at that point. But yes, it was I will say it's kind of an emotion like it's kind of like a like if you it sucks you into the movie and then you feel you like then you end up starting to cheer for the main character. At the beginning, it's like I know if you know the game, it's like we know what's going on, obviously. So it's kind of slow in a way, but it's slow because the character doesn't know what we know, and so it feels slow to us. But in the sense that for people who don't know Iron Lung and for the main character, these are these are the steps. The steps that these are like the baby's first walking steps, the necessary things. And then I would say in the middle chunk, so that's the beginning. The middle chunk is where it starts to build up. I would say the middle chunk is more of the like the act. Like, actually, I shouldn't say that. Would that be? Would that be spoilers? The middle. Well, because it follows a regular story arc. You know, it's building, and then the what is it? The climax, and then it comes down towards the end. So I'll say the beginning part is yes, the introductory, get the audience familiar. If they're not familiar, get the main characters familiar. The middle part is basically the game. It follows the main chunk of the game, though. Okay, yeah, so then obviously it's about the game, so it's gonna have the gameplay in it, but I'm not gonna tell the story of it yet. You have to see it, the way it kind of intertwines. Because I will say, in the game, it is a little. I mean, it's teased, but nah, I won't say much more about the story. Just know it's like the middle part's more like the game, and then the ending part is the big climactic ending, obviously. And man, it is hard not to be invested. The beginning part, yes, because it's a slow burn. It could be hard to not be It could be hard to be completely invested if you're not familiar with it. If you're familiar with it, you're it's probably racing through your mind. It's like, okay, what direction, what mechanics is gonna cause this? What's gonna take place of that? You know, stuff like that. How is the mechanics is gonna intertwine into the story? And then once you get into the middle part, which is obviously they're gonna be the closest to the bulk of the main gameplay, then it's like, okay, everything is intertwining. We just gotta let it. We just gotta see how it plays out. And at the beginning, I mean, at the end, is the result. And man, I really want to talk about it because the ending is he put in elements there that aren't 100% in the regular game, and it's interesting. Oh, let's see. But yeah, man, there's not really much to say other than everyone did okay. No, there is another one last thing. If you don't care about Iron Lung, uh, if you don't really care about if you don't watch any of the other Markiplier stuff, you have to watch it just because it's one, it's inspirational, but there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of ideas in. Sorry about that. I just saw it peak. I'm watching my audio, but there's a lot of ideas that if you're in prop design, there's a lot of stuff there that's just, oh my god, they did it so good. And the sound design, I already said those two, but man, I wanna I wanna just make stuff like that. I know it doesn't make sense. I'm just yapping on at this point, but whoever's I know I saw the movie. I should have looked. I should have. I don't remember their names, but whoever did the prop, whoever did the guy who did that big box thing that moves around, and then the sound design, and I think the sound and the music too. The music is pretty good, though. The music is good at supporting the scene. It's in the background, and you don't really take notice of the music. You know how like the movies nowadays you can have recognizable songs, and then that kind of steals the show in a way. But by having whoever made the music, it's just in the background enough to not enforce, but nourish emotions out of you. That's the best way to put it. It nourishes your emotions just a bit. It gives it a boost. It's like a subliminal message if you saw that Columbo episode. No, actually, no, it wouldn't be subliminal because it doesn't put the idea in your head. I guess it does reinforce it because it does show you that yes, this is the idea. But the music and I saw like the Spotify list is a lot of music, and it's almost a 2.5 hour movie. It's I think it's 2 minutes 2 hours 2 minutes 13 minutes. Uh, I don't know. Now I'm just thinking of like going through the whole movie now. I better end it now before I just start yapping about nothing. Just go and see it. Even if you don't know Iron Lung, you don't know Markiplier, just see it. It's a big inspiration, big ideas. You get ideas if you're into prop making, sculpting, anything creative arts. The people who worked on it did an excellent job, and there's a lot to be inspired by, a lot of ideas to take in. That's not even getting to the story, which I won't get into the story unless without talking about the story. But I did a little bit here and there, and the sound design's good too. The one thing I am confused about is the costume, but yeah, that's the only thing I was like, why this costume? This costume is very I don't know. The costume feels generic, but there's probably some meaning behind it that I just don't know. Maybe it's the clothes that he had on before. I don't know if it's specific prisoner clothes. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Because I just been yapping. I'm sorry. Go see the movie.